Hey guys, Dirty Dan here, and yeah, today's Friday morning. I went out, got some masking tape and stuff for the crispy Cadillac, and going to be spraying some primer today. Um, I think I'm going to go with epoxy primer. I think it'll hold off the rust a little bit better than just a high build, and then you can put Bodywork on top of that, the body filler. So there's going to be a couple spots that need some filler. But once I get the epoxy on, I gotta wait, I think it's 16 hours they say, before you can put anything on top of it. And hopefully I'll be spraying paint tomorrow. So yeah, my first order of business is to cover everything up in here that I don't want to get overspray on. And there's quite a bit. I got an engine, I got a bike, I got the 51. So I got a big stack of bed sheets, so I'll use all that up, and maybe some poly as well, some plastic. One other thing, this weekend I'm going to be working on stuff like this, but after this weekend, the weekends I'm going to keep to do hot rod stuff, older stuff, and I'm going to treat this stuff here like a job, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, and weekends for my own stuff and stuff like the 51 or whatever. But yeah, that's how I'm going to roll, and hopefully it works out. Yeah, might as well just get to it. All right, so I've covered everything up that I want to get protected from overspray. And over here, I'd use bed sheets and plastic. Reason for the plastic is if it rains really hard, my roof leaks a little bit. And like a shower like it's doing right now, no problem. I just don't want to get any water stains or anything, especially on the wood. But yeah, just feel better with the poly on there. So now what I'm ready to do is mask this crispy Cadillac up. There's several ways to mask a vehicle. In this case here, I'm going to do it the wrong way. It's just because the nature of the project. You know, normally what you'd do, you'd remove this window, take all this trim off, here at the top, mask off here. There's a little seam in there with a plastic piece, so you tape that off. You would mask and paint this whole section all the way down to here. Also, because of doing the quarter, you would probably scuff the whole door as well, and mask off the handle, or remove the handle actually, and again remove all this trim, because you'd blend into, say, halfway the door or something, or a quarter of the way into the door. But we're not doing that, so hopefully the color match I have is close enough. I'm going to do a spray out card first before I actually paint it. So yeah, by rights, you know, the bumper should be taken right off, the gas door, all these things. But I'm just going to mask around it. I'm going to do some back masking, some top masking, and whatever. Up here, I'm going to mask inside this line here, because there's a lip, you know, see? So I've got this stuff called fine line tape. It's very, very thin. We'll cover that, then we'll tape masking tape to that, and then cover up the rest. And when I come time to spray, I'm going to kind of spray in an upwards direction, and that should keep the keep it from getting a line there, a hard line. Hopefully it works. If not, well, I'll have to sand and buff a little bit, but that's no big deal. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start masking. And oh yeah, I did pick up the paint, so I'll show you that when I'm ready to paint. So yeah, mask away. Okay, so this blue line here, that's or purple, whatever you want to call it, that's the fine line I was talking about. It's a vinyl tape, and it's super, super thin. I'm just going to mask off with that. Then we'll go up the paper. yeah, just keep on going. Got to remember that because I don't have a downdraft booth, I just side vent out the garage door, that the overspray tends to hang around here a little bit longer. So I got to cover pretty much every inch of this car. It's not going to get painted. So it's going to take me some time. I've got about an hour on this already, and I'm going to say I'm a third done. So it is what it is. One thing I'm going to show you here is this is called back masking. So I've got, in this case, duct tape to the inside of the fender with the sticky side out, and because we don't want to get paint and overspray all over the black wheel houses. Come on. And it's done. Good enough. So I'll show you real quick what she looks like. It looks like a car covered in paper. So yeah, I've got a regular painting drop sheet on the roof, but she's all covered up and it's ready to spray. So like I said, we're going to start with epoxy primer. And but before I even spray it, I'm gonna have to scuff this. I'm probably gonna use just like a red Scotch-Brite, just to give it some texture so the primer has something to stick to. So I'll get a little bit in here in the jam and both quarters and then that front fender. So we'll make quick work of that. All right, so I'm only concerned with where the primer is going. There's very little primer here. There's a little bit on this lip right here and down here where I did a bit of rust repair. So I'm just going to scuff that area because the rest of this here is just going to be clear coated. So I want to just get that with say 500 or 600 grit. So we just go real quick. That's it. So I'm going to do the both rear quarters. It's a little bit bigger area in the quarters, but same idea. Just enough to take the shine off, scuff it up so the primer has something to stick to. All right, so I've got my pressure turned down, probably saying around 14, 15 psi. It's easier to control the overspray that way. So, and it's also a fairly narrow stream, so. Need a new mask.
Oh. I'll do the same on the other side and let it set up a bit, then I'll give it a second coat and then we should be good. Alright, so now I have to wait. Can't put anything on top of that stuff till, well, they say 16 hours, so it's 7 o'clock now, it's pitch dark out. So 11 o'clock tomorrow I'll be able to do my filler on top of that. So while I'm waiting for that, in the morning, I'll scuff all the remaining panel. That's both quarters and the front fender. Get that ready. And a little bit of Bondo work, body filler. Hopefully be ready to spot prime by say 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon and get some paint on her. So yeah, I'll show you real quick what it looks like and then call it a night, have a beer. So there's the corner there. This all looks pretty good, you know. I'll just use the shadows from the shitty lighting, but looks pretty good. It was over here, not bad at all. There's a little bit of lumpy shit on there. Have to sand that out, but overall, not too bad. And the overspray didn't go in too far, so that's good. And then the front fender was just a little spot, and yeah, it looks good. I laid it on pretty heavy here, just because I forgot to feather out my edge when I ground the rust off. So tried to fill her up with primer, but if there's still an edge there, I'll just hit it with some body filler. So anyway, like I said, it's Miller time. I'm done for the night. Oh, hey guys, it's the next day, Saturday morning. It's about 11 o'clock, and I just did some body filler work on the Cadillac. Yeah, I'm just going to show you where I'm at and how we're going to shape this these wheelhouses. It's been steady all morning. I've had guys here steady, so haven't gotten a whole lot done on it. I'm hoping I get a break for a while and can just go at this thing. So I'll set up the camera and show you what we're doing, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so on these wheelhouses, there's actually a body line. It's very subtle, right here, and that's going to go all the way. So I sanded this flat already. So we want to recreate that body line. Yeah, that's it. So now we're just going to sand down to that line. But first I think I'm going to give this, that's pretty damn good. What we'll do, I'm going to put a piece of tape on that. All right, so I'm going to mud down to it, and then we'll sand it, and hopefully that line comes out nice. Like I said, it's very subtle, and it actually kind of fades right about here, and it just goes flat. So yeah, I'll go ahead and mud that up and show you where we're at. All right, so I mixed up some putty.
other spot I saw down here. And I'll go get the other side. And once that sets up, we can sand it out. All right, so I removed the tape when it was still wet, the filler that is. And you can see I got kind of it's a bit sharper line here now. I'm just going to soften that up to match this. And I've already sanded up top here. I'm just going to go over it with 220. And yeah, then we should be good for primer. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get that done. And we'll be back when I'm ready to shoot primer. Okay, so I'm calling the bodywork done. Any little scratches and stuff, the primer will take care of. I've also scuffed the entire fender with 600 and just wet paper, just to dull the finish and give the paint something to grab onto. All around. So the same thing, it's all sanded with 600, as well as this side here. So yeah, we're going to do some spot priming, and then I'm going to have to let it sit until the primer sets up. So I'll probably do other things. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of priming here, get this ready. Just the areas that I did body filler work. I've already give the front fender a shot. So I'll just show the one panel, it's all the same stuff anyway. My gun is leaking. We'll come back, give that another shot in a bit. All right, so there's two heavy coats of primer on there. Everything looks good. I don't see anything wrong. Both sides and the front fender, it's all good. So yeah, now it's hurry up and wait time. So that's just the way it is in this stuff. You know, it's got to dry 4 hours, 5 hours, something like that. I'll crank the heat up, and hopefully that'll help it along. Probably be shooting it after supper. Yeah, that's about it for now, I guess. All right, so there we go. That's about all I'm gonna have time for today. You know, I was gonna shoot the whole paint job in this video, but it would just run too long, and I find long videos, half hour or more, just don't go well. Attention span, people don't have it. That's just the way it is. So I like to go around 20 minutes. You know, I had a choice of 3 guns to spray the primer with. One I knew was no good. It leaks like a sieve. And then there was one that was spraying crappy. And then there was one that was my former paint gun, which I'm going to make a primer gun because I bought a brand new one to do the paint on this. You think I could grab the right gun? I mixed them up, but I couldn't remember which is which. So the first one I grabbed leaked all over my hand, and you know, the second one changed all the fittings and everything else, and it was spraying sideways, and it was just a mess. So finally, the third choice is the one ended up being my former paint gun, and it went well after that. So I put that one aside. The other two, I think I'm going to grab a few parts off of and throw them away. Like I said, I've got a brand new one for the paint. So yeah, so that's good. Like I said, I looked over the whole thing. It looks really good. A couple minor runs, which just tells me I've got enough on there. So so we got some meat to sand with, and yeah, it's all good. So this thing should be done tonight as far as paint goes. Tomorrow, throw the taillights and the plastic pieces back on, and ship her out. So and actually, the next project is sitting in the yard already. The guy dropped it off this morning, and it's a, I'll tell you what it is when we get there. And it's just dent repair. It's we're doing a box side basically on a pickup truck. So yeah, pretty good sized dent. I think he tried to mate with a telephone pole or something, I don't know. And anyway, if you like the content, please subscribe, and help spread the word. I'm trying to get to 3,000 subs, and I'm 211 short. So keep them coming, please. It would really help me out. And yeah, don't be shy. Leave comments down below. Like the channel and all those good things. It all helps the algorithm. I don't know what that means, but that's okay. And yeah, if you're not doing anything else, get out of the garage and build something, man. Later, guys.